Hello and welcome everybody to today's New Zealand Football Chatham Cup semi-final clash between Kashmere Technical and Western Suburbs. We're here at the beautiful Garrick Memorial Park here in Woolston, Christchurch. My name's Lee Padmore, I'm your host for today's game. The last time these two met was in 2018 in the Chatham Cup also. Western Suburbs came up on top and found themselves in the final that year. I was lucky enough to catch up with both coaches, so let's hear what they had to say. Dan, you were lucky enough to play in two Chatham Cup finals as a player. This is your first semi-final as a head coach. How's that experience going to help you coming into today?
I've tried to replicate what John done before us as a coach. It's been bright and breezy this week, and we've got a lot of experienced players that know how to play in big games, and really they take care of the group for me. So not a lot changes for me. We're just trying to get to know what they're about, and we'll have a good go today.
You've had a great vein of form in the Southern League. This is the first time you'll play a team that you will play in the National Conference. What are you expecting today?
We know they're a very possession-based team. They're fit, they're young, they're strong, they're hungry. It's always good coming up against the unknown, and I think it's sometimes nice to play against teams that you don't know as well. So, yeah, we know what their strengths are in terms of possession, but they've got some really, really good quality players that will take chances if we allow them. So we know we've got a big afternoon ahead of us.
Awesome, Dan. Good luck for today. Ben, the last time these two sides met, your side was full of players that have gone on to international successes. I'm sure with the famed Olay Academy, it'll be exactly the same today. Any players in there that stand out for you?
Yeah, so I think the last time we came down here was in 2018 in the Chatham Cup semifinal. A lot of very eerily similar kind of situations. So we have a lot of players. I think this team has 13 players under the age of 21, which is very similar to that team in 2018, which featured the likes of Marco Stamnich, Matt Garbett, Callum McCowett, Elijah Just, Nando Pinecker, Dom Wooldridge. I'm probably forgetting a few. There's a few of them, but 6 of them recently got called into the All-Whites. So, you know, all Olay Football Academy players that have come through this system with Western Suburbs FC. Which is, you know, that's the project here, is to give young players opportunities to play in games like this and, you know, to go through a long-term process. And so this is the next group of kids that are coming through, and like I said, in a very similar situation as that last group. So it's quite exciting.
Awesome, and you'll meet Kashmere Technical in the National Conference. What are you looking forward to today most?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Cup games like this. We spoke about it as a team today. There's kind of 2 games being played. There's the game that actually gets played, which is the football match, and then there's the game around the game where it gets built up to be something bigger than it is. You know, it's a big occasion. It's the Chatham Cup. I was just reading about the history. Started in the 1920s, and you know, it's a really fun thing to be a part of. But at the same time, it's just another game. So I'm looking forward to the young players. These are formative experiences for them, to go out and express themselves and to play the way that we play and not let the circumstances in and around the game dictate their behaviors, because we play this really principle-based game that shouldn't really change. But I'm looking forward to seeing our young guys shine today and rise to a challenge, because the team we're playing is obviously very old and tough and strong and wise, and they'll be very organized. So that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ben. Good luck. And that's us hearing from the coaches. Now let's see who's going to take the field today. For Kashmere Technical, in goal will be number 22, Danny Knight. Number 5, Andrew Storer. Number 6, Tom Schwartz. Number 10, Garvin Coughlin. Number 12, Sam Field. Number 16, Fraser Angus. Number 17, Corey Mitchell. Number 19, Lyle Matteson. Number 28, Yuya Taguchi. Number 32, Luke Tung. Number 33, Daniel Boyce. And on the bench today will be number 13, Harrison Rowe, number 8, Jacob Richards, number 21, Declan Tyndall, number 24, Kean Dunkers, and number 37, Alex Ballard. Kashmere Technical are coached by Dan Schwartz, who is assisted by Dean Hutchinson and Dan Terrace. And now let's have a look at today's visitors, Western Suburbs. In goal will be number 1, Keith Sims, number 2, Alex Clayton, number 6, Ben Stroud. Number 7, Ollie Van Rysel. Number 8, Daniel Atkinson. Number 9, Michael Faber. Number 12, Berhanu Tay. Number 14, Bruno Penny. Number 15, William Gillian. Number 17, Oscar Huff, and number 22, Wan Gatkek. The substitutions for Western Suburbs will be number 13, Oscar Boyce, number 11, Fergus Gillian, number 16, Jack O'Connor, number 18, Sei Juan Locke, and number 19, Norman Garbett. Western Suburbs are coached by Ben Sippler, and who will be assisted by Tyler Logan. And now let's look at how both sides managed to get to the semi-finals on their road to the Champ Cup semis. For Kashmere Technical, they started away to Parklands United, dispatching them 8-0. They then beat Selwyn United 4-0, and a blockbuster of a game in the next round where they beat Nelson Suburbs 7-3. In the last game that was all local, they beat Christchurch United 3-0, and in the quarter-finals, they managed to beat Hamilton Wanderers 4-0 away from home. And now let's look at how Western Suburbs managed to get themselves into the semi-finals. They started at home to Upper Hutt City, beating them 4-0. They then played Napier City Rovers and beat them 3-0 at home. Then they played Waterside Karori and managed to win 2-0, also at home. And then finally in the quarter-finals, they played Melville United at home and won 1-0.
Olivia Van Russell. Number 8, Dan Atkinson. Number 9, Mike Faber. Number 12, Bahanu Tay. Number 14, Bruno Penny. Number 15, Liam Gillian. Number 17, Oscar Howe. And number 22, Wan Gatkek. On the bench today is number 18, Juan Lucky. 19, Norman Garbett. 16, Jack O'Connor. 13, Oscar Boyce. And number 11, Fergus Gillian.
I was here the last time these two met Ronan and stood over in that far corner. Western Suburbs came out on top that day. Hit power, receiving a red card in the first half. Kashmere Technical created plenty of chances but couldn't put them away. Western Suburbs that day, full of talent that has gone on to bigger and better things.
Here we go, guys. The first semi-final of the Champion Cup 2021. Get behind the boys. Come on, you Tigers.
I hope those of you at home are looking forward to this, because I've been looking forward to this all week. As it looks like Kashmere Technical will pick us up and Garden Coughlin. They're attacking from left to right as you look at it. Western Suburbs from right to left.
Luke, you're going to have to do the close-up I can't see. Okay?
Close up where?
For the match.
Okay, you want me to do the every
Yeah,
close
I'm
up?
doing wide because I can't see.
Some attacking players aren't willing to do that. And yeah, he'll do a great job for Cashmere Technical.
You got it, Luke?
Yeah, I think. What do they want for?
Just stay on the action as best you can, then they cut to me when you lose it.
That close.
Faber finds himself on the ball. Finding Stroud. Faber. Interesting here with Western Suburbs is how flat this left-hand side fullback is, but how advanced the right-hand fullback is. Maybe a little bit of a ploy by Ben Sippler, just to use his weapons where he can. And again, that's a little bit wayward from Stroud. Just in case you didn't hear me before, my name's Lee Padmore and I'm joined today by New Zealand Football's Futsal Development Manager, Ronan Nika. And there you see though that press from Western Suburbs. Are very well renowned for that high press. But Taguchi finds himself on the ball, finds Tung. Field makes an overlapping run. He is very athletic, Samfield. That's a good delivery to the back post to Coughlin. Well defended by Alex Clayton at the back post. There was a free flow in the attack, Ronan Nyka.
Dangerous there. Suburbs pressing high, and Tick were able to break there. And as soon as they broke those first two lines, you could see there's a bit of space for Yu Taguchi to put in Luke Tung, and then Tung playing through Sam Field. So we're going to watch out for that.
Definitely. That the beauty of the combination for Kashmir Technical down this side is that Luke Tung won't worry about coming and defending in this right back spot when Samfield does get forward. So it won't leave them too exposed. Goal kick for Western Suburbs. The way goal kicks are set up now, it's almost like a set play in itself. Faber tries to find that pocket, well defended by Samfield. Bruno Penny finds himself between lines, finds Gatkak. Rangy midfielder. One of those midfielders that doesn't look like they're trying at any time, but always seems to get the job done. Stroud finds Faber. Both experienced players at centre-back for Western Suburbs. Ben Stroud, formerly of Canterbury United. Faber is actually a coach at Western Suburbs and the Olo Football Academy. Spent a lot of time in the United States. University of Texas. Actually a degree in business management. As again, Western Suburbs look direct. Clayton finds himself in on goal here. And well recovered by the veteran, Danny Boyes. And that's maybe something they've got to be careful of. Both Boyes and Tom Schwartz are very experienced, but like I talked about before, the right-hand side is very athletic. They can move on that side, but if they do catch them out, if it's a direct foot race, then the young Western Suburbs players will win that.
Tick are looking to be really compact from the back four right through to Garvin up top, which is forcing Western Suburbs to look at those direct balls over the top, over the fullbacks. Hasn't worked out in the previous two times, but that time they've managed to get over Danny Boyes, but Boyes has managed to make a recovery. And oh, here we go, we've got some dives on that ball.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a misnomer really about Olo and Western Suburbs. You know that everyone thinks that they are just a one-trick pony in terms of building out, but they certainly can go direct with the best of them. They'll look to suck you in like this, and then they will look to hurt you. You see, look, Gatkak and Penny in the pockets. Huff finds himself on the ball facing forward. Looks to try and get Gillian in. Not quite as accurate as he'd have liked to have been there. Certainly got a tactical battle on our hands. Kashmir Technical have a lot of experience. There'll be several hundred National League games on show for Kashmir Technical as opposed to Western Suburbs. It won't have quite as many. The most experienced National League player, potentially Wan Gatkak. They look to go long. Stroud just gives a little love tap to Garvin Coughlin just to let him know he's there nice and early on. Coughlin not afraid to milk things when he needs to, but he does get himself back up a lot. Certainly one of the country's deadliest top front men. Corey Mitchell, I don't think there's anyone better in the country at doing what Corey Mitchell does than Corey Mitchell. As Fraser Angus turns that ball over again. We talked a little bit about him before. Taguchi. Taguchi, speculative on his weak side, but he's definitely capable. Apologies for those of you There's a bit of a technical issue with the commentary and it being a little bit quiet. We are trying to sort the technical issues at our end. Again, we see a little bit of a set play here as Western Suburbs look to build out. What's interesting here is you can see Bruno Penny really deep behind the Kashmir Technical back four. I think Ruud van Nistelrooy used to do that. Any kids out there who are budding strikers, budding tapping artists, YouTube Ruud van Nistelrooy. Gatkick finds himself on the ball, touch a little bit slack, but does well. Faber. Van Rissel. Tongue gets nice and close there. Loose pass again in midfield from Western Suburbs, and Corey Mitchell will turn the ball over there if you allow him to. See Taguchi looking to make his way around. Coughlin will be disappointed with that touch, but they turn it into a pressing opportunity. Whether that was lucky or whether that was meant that some pass to break lines into Daniel Atkinson. Kashmir Technical working hard to get behind the ball in transition, not necessarily looking to press it. I think that's probably a smart move considering, you know, people do come and look to press as that ball looks to go in beyond to Gillian. Sunfield's a good defender in these situations. He does come inside Gillian. Looks to find Clayton, that's a little bit too much. Goal kick to Kashmir Technical.
Definitely some contrasting styles here. You'll see Suburbs will look to press, whereas Tech are quite happy to sit in from the goal kicks and force Suburbs to break them down.
A little bit of a speed up from referee Calvin Berg there. Knight finds Boys. Matteson. Taguchi. Again, you see that press. 4 or 5 players from Western Suburbs around the ball. The one thing Western Suburbs won't want to do is get into a physical battle. They won't shy away from it, but if you do go into physical battle with Tech, we've seen in the Southern League, it's a little bit like taking a knife to a gunfight. They are a big team. They can play. They absolutely can play and play some great stuff at times. Seasoned veterans that don't know anything but winning at this level. Whereas Western Suburbs are a little bit younger, but again, just used to competing game after game. Ball switched in here to Tungi from Garvin Coughlin. It's a lovely delivery. Tung finds himself in wide right. Not one to really beat anybody on the outside. As Samfield goes past him. Ball's cut back. Well won by Tay. And that is out for a corner kick for Kashmir Technical. Now this is a situation we talked about before. Again, Ronan, around this may be a real advantage for Kashmir Technical set pieces.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with that. Forced the mistake there on Tay, putting it out for a corner. Now you'll see the threat the Cash Tech post from set piece.
What I imagine's coming here is a deep, long corner kick. No, what do I know? Goal kick to Western Suburbs. Look to try and whip it in towards that front post. I expected a hung delivery to see if they could handle Tom Schwartz at the back post. They get that one going quick, Western Suburbs, as we find Gillian in at the back post. Finds himself, cuts inside, and that's a good save from Danny Knight. Experienced shot stopper, stood up well there. Maybe Gillian could have gone across him a little bit. But nonetheless, that's a great save. Caught napping a little bit there, Kashmir Technical. Quick goal kick from Western Suburbs, and they found themselves in behind.
I think what we saw there is the cover that Luke Tung provides with Samfield high up the pitch. He managed to get back and probably did just enough to force a difficult chance. But yeah, Tekken have to be careful of those attacks out wide on the wing through that.
No stranger to Western Suburbs Ole Academy, of course. Luke Tung as the corner's swung in. Well won by Andrew Storer. Finds Daniel Atkinson at the back post, who strikes it well over and wide. Yeah, of course, Luke Tung found him, spent some time at the Wellington Phoenix Academy. Would have played against Western Suburbs and Ole a lot. Schwartz. Look to find Coughlin between lines and does. Matteson tries to find Mitchell, a little bit wayward that pass. Angus again turns over possession. Sims, very capable with his feet, Keith Sims. Gatcap rolls out into that half space. Tech a little bit reluctant to go and follow those midfielders out to those wide areas, which is fine, they sit off.
Really intelligent player, Gatcap. We talk about him on the ball, but he seems to always find space. You know the Tech midfield will be aware of him, but he's always managing to find those pockets.
Ball cleared, high and long. Won by Taguchi in midfield in the air. Only a little fella, but he's got some leap. Coughlin. Taguchi. I've watched at Kashmir Tech a lot this season, and when Taguchi and Coughlin can get themselves close together, they are a joy to behold. Tung finds himself between lines.
Yeah, it's 0-0.
Out to Samfield. Storer. It's a good press by Western Suburbs. Bruno Penny looks to put pressure on the ball. And that ball is cleared by Danny Knight. Intent for Luke Tung, I think. But a good press from Western Suburbs.
Yeah, they're putting Tech under a lot of pressure when they're on the ball. Tech will need to try and recycle the ball a bit more and retain some possession, because Suburbs are putting them under a lot of pressure.
Certainly a game of chess, though. Definitely a game of chess we've got here. Any chess grandmasters out there? Trying to figure out each other still. Again, you see that flattened off fullback, Ollie Van Russell. Potentially just leaving space in the pockets for Bruno Penny to come off the line. Ball goes back, Coughlin will press. Coughlin turn this over, and that looks like a foul to me. Not given. It looked a foul to me, I must say. Looked to get himself in a little bit of trouble there, Sims. I think the Kashmir Technical bench think the same. That being said, it's game on again. Referee's made his decision, must get on with it. As Western Suburbs clear, and they will get themselves up the pitch. Definitely looking to find those little balls in between lines from Tom Schwartz in particular. They've actually dealt with that well. Western Suburbs as Coughlin finds himself on the ball again. Turns past Faber. It's a tricky customer, Coughlin. You feel as if they are going to win the game today, then he's going to be a huge part of their success.
Alex Clayton there's done really well to shepherd that out. Just showed him one side and got his body between Coughlin and the ball. Well defended.
Yeah, I know Alex Clayton well. He was a player that we courted for Canterbury United. Unfortunately decided last season to go and play with the Wellington Phoenix. They gave him an opportunity. He's a good player, good fullback. 2000 born. One of the older players in this Western Suburbs team. You may have heard then some instructions there to Gillian to pop out. Again, you see, I think they're being very smart here, Western Suburbs. Ball switched, well dealt with by boys. They're saying don't need to fight Schwartz and Storer, Bruno. You can come off the line and we'll create an overload in the middle because we're capable of playing through the thirds. We don't want to get into that physical battle against Schwartz and Storer, and I think that's absolutely fair enough. But Tech can press themselves. They're not just a team that's going to sit in a block. They will come after you. Coughlin back to goal again. Stroud very close to him. No runners really off the ball there for Tech. Once you get Coughlin facing forward, you really want some runners because he will come and find you. Gatkek again finds himself some space. Lovely pass into Tay. And they find the switch side pocket. As Oscar Huff drives with the ball. Van Rysel looks to close that gap underneath him. And then they'll just try and find a platform here, Will Western Suburbs. Faber, Van Rysel, into Penny, and there's that physical battle I talk about. Knight clears the ball. Tate finds him on the ball again. Gatkek. Poor ball from Gatkek, only finds Matteson. Definitely a counter moment or counter opportunity there for Kashmir Technical, giving up. Clayton finds Penny. Huff. Gillian. You see just how many players Kashmir Technical got behind the ball. And Samfield wins that ball. And that's a foul. I think that's fair. Definitely a foul there. Samfield, great defender. 1v1 in particular, but defends, overloads well, manages, stays nice and close to his centre half, so doesn't give anybody an opportunity. But Bruno Penny coming off the line, causing a few issues that maybe Tech want to keep an eye on. I know he's a player who's in football, keeping an eye on Bruno Penny, 2004 born player. Definitely would have been a shoo-in, I think, for a World Cup had we ever had an under-17 World Cup. Faber finds Huff between lines. Finds Penny. Looks to look for Van Rysel between, and again that defending from Samfield that I told you I was just talking about. Doesn't like anybody getting in on the inside of him.
Tech have done really well to force West Suburbs to play around, and you see the one time they are able to play through the midfield there, they create a half opportunity. So game so far, Tech are doing really well, so they keep that up and try and get on the ball with them.
Yeah, agreed. Easier said than done against a team that is definitely has a huge focus on possession and the number of passes and ensuring they do maintain the ball for as long as possible. Field defends well then. Looks to find Coughlin. And he's in. Looks to be in here, Coughlin. Stroud's missed it. Looks to do it. I think he was just trying to open up his body there, Coughlin, to use Stroud as a little bit of a shield. But well defended in the end by Stroud. Would be disappointed with himself, holds himself to high standards in terms of the first defensive action, but the second was definitely well recovered. And I think we may see another long throw from Kashmir Technical here. And he picks out the biggest player on the pitch, Ben Stroud. Schwartz finds himself on the ball. We find Story, see Bruno Penny again pressing. That's a lovely pass out to Tung. Finds Taguchi. Tung. Not quite the delivery he was after there, Luke Tung. Danny Boys puts on the brakes. Maybe 5-10 years ago he'd have got to that one. He won't mind me saying that. Experienced left back. Real jewel in the crown of Kashmir Technical, and I believe was involved in both Chatham Cup wins, as was Tom Schwartz. It's been a while since Kashmir Technical have been in a Chatham Cup final, and they hold themselves to a high standard, and they'll want to be back there this year. Of course, qualifying for the National League in its new format. Schwartz looking for Coughlin. Clayton turns the ball over. Disappointing pass down the line. So we're 26 minutes in. Still 0-0. But I'm not bored, Ronan. So there must be something going on that's engaging me. as mentioned before, like Tech get brushed with being a direct team, but you'll see them play as much as anybody. They do keep possession of the ball for a long time. They can turn teams around and make it a physical battle, but they're definitely a team that can play.
I think, Lee, that's definitely the tactical battle that's engaging you, and it's clear to see. There's been some key moments and key opportunities that could have broken the game open, but it's just managed to stay at 0-0, so it's going to continue in that same vein until someone breaks deadlock.
Agreed. Again, you see that press from Corey Mitchell. I mentioned before, I don't think there's anybody better than Corey Mitchell at doing Corey Mitchell things. In terms of pressing the ball, turning over the ball, selfless play. As Western Suburbs pick up possession again. You see this mid block again from Kashmir Technical. That one thing, as you know, as the ball comes into midfield, they press the midfield and they'll look to press from there. The only danger here is if you look, the space between lines that is there. Western Suburbs have got 3 players waiting for that delivery. But again,
It's definitely what Western Suburbs need to be careful about. Ticker looking for that quick turnover and they hit them straight away.
Mattison finds himself out on this right-hand side. Mitchell, Field, Mattison, into Mitchell. Again, that's lovely football from Kashmir Technical as the ball's delivered to the back post. But as I mentioned before, Kashmir Technical get washed with they're a direct team, but you can see there they'll combine and play as much as anybody, especially in that final third. It's great to see.
Again, I have to say that series of possession came from Suburbs losing the ball in their own defensive third. One mistake, Tech pounced and put a bit of pressure on it, and then they've created an opportunity there, a bit of interplay from a turnover, a quick turnover. Suburbs want to keep the ball, but they've got to be careful of that because one of these turnovers is going to cost them.
Absolutely. They will keep playing though, Western Suburbs. Ball kept in by Mattison. Not sure I don't think that was a foul. The crowd don't agree with me, but Taguchi's a smart boy. He's definitely playing for that. As Penny tries to get around the man mountain that is Andrew Storer. Like I mentioned before, a little bit like taking a knife to a gunfight, but they definitely will continue to play Western Suburbs. Look to create those little overloads in midfield. Danny Knight not looking to play this time. It really is a glorious day here in Christchurch too. I've got the Port Hills to my left, the Southern Alps in front of me. The sun is shining in a Chatham Cup semi-final. Not sure there's many better things to do on a Sunday. That looked like a foul to me by Faber on Matheson. Coughlin. Actually, a poor first touch from Coughlin that allowed him to get a little bit of space. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous for Western Suburbs. Kashmir Technical set pieces are something they really work on, or something they really concentrate on getting goals from. And you look at the size of that back post area with Schwartz, Storer, Field.
Suburbs will be relying on Ben Stroud here and the goalkeeper Sims to help them out. If you look at the size of the boys from Tech coming in, those two are going to be key.
Must be mentioned the efforts that have gone in from Kashmir Technical to ensure that they stay within level 2 protocols. It's a fantastic effort. They'd have wanted a big crowd here, but they've done well to separate, yet maintain a family atmosphere. It's It's really good to see. So well done, Kashmir Technical. Ball delivered by Matheson. It's a dangerous ball in, but well dealt with. Not sure who won that ball, but it was well dealt with. The older cynics in the audience will say he should have beat the first man, but I think that low trajectory delivery is one that can cause real issues. His tongue hangs one. Doesn't quite make the area. Coughlin. Cut back into Matheson, and that's hit the side netting. Lovely little combination between Coughlin and Matheson. Stroud finds himself on the ball. Sims looks to go direct. Field wins the first contact. Ball is out for a Western Suburbs throw-in. One thing you may see from Western Suburbs and Keith Sims is the wandering goalkeeper. They do like to make a back three with the goalkeeper in possession at times.
Well, you saw Ben Cipolla talk about principles of play at the start of the interview, and although Sims has made a mistake early on and Garvin Coughlin almost capitalised on it, they'll continue to play using number 12, Ray, through their midfield and look to put concerted amounts of pressure on Tech by keeping the ball away from them.
And that direct ball is in behind Boys has seen Western Suburbs get a corner kick. I think Danny Knight thought that might have been making its way out, didn't quite get there. They have had a little bit of success looking in behind Boys at times. Potentially Boys can start a little bit deeper. Just ensure, you know, if Alex Clayton does receive the ball in front of him, Boys is a good 1v1 defender. I can't see him beating him on the outside.
Little bit, yeah, bit loud.
It's Van Rysel looking to take the corner kick. Obvious target is Stroud. Ball delivered, and that's out for a goal kick. So as we enter the 35th minute, again an engaging game. And probably exactly what we expected, safe to say, you know. Western Suburbs keeping a lot of the ball. Kashmir Technical, very well organised. It's Dan Schwartz's first year in charge at Kashmir Technical, and it's got to be said, he's doing a great job, continuing the success that Kashmir Technical have had. Matheson gets around the outside of Van Rysel. Coughlin looks to deliver. Suburbs will look to play. Stung picks up the ball. Ball cut cross. Finds Taguchi. It's well blocked. I think that was Clayton that blocked that, but it was well blocked. As Boys finds himself on the ball.
Crucial sliding tackle there from Clayton to block that shot. It looked destined to be a goal.
Definitely. As Stroud finds himself on the ball, finds Clayton. I think the turf is, or the grass is getting to some of the Western Suburbs boys at times. There's a little bit of a bobble to it. Although it must be said it's in great condition, the pitch. But as I was mentioning before, Dan Schwartz has done a great job. They won the Mainland Premier League. They won the Southern League. They're in the English Cup final and the Chatham Cup semi-final. By anyone's standards, that's a huge achievement. Never mind when it's your first year in coaching. It's a foul in the middle third. As mentioned before, Kashmir Technical have won the Chatham Cup twice, once in 2013, once in 2014. Western Suburbs have actually won it 3 times. Last one back in 2006. Stroud finds himself on the ball, looking to break that line into the pocket.
I don't know if you've noticed this, Lee, but I think the Cash Tech boys seem to put a bit more pressure on Stroud than they do on Faber. Maybe it's because they know them, they know his strengths, know his weaknesses, and know where you'd like to play him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they've definitely targeted Stroud. He's a good footballer, Ben Stroud. So it's and that looks to be a foul in the middle third, and a yellow card for the experienced Schwartz. I think I can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen him go to the ground. Very much a Maldini-esque centre back, and he'll enjoy me saying that. He'll record that and send that to me later. But very much stays on his feet and reads the game well. So Ben Sipler on the other hand has again done a great job at Western Suburbs. A transitional time with a lot of their players moving on to professional contracts over the past couple of years. Rebuilding phase. Finishing 4th in the Central League. But that guaranteed them national conference football, with the Wellington Phoenix playing as Lower Hutt finishing 3rd. And obviously, of course, they're guaranteed a spot, the Wellington Phoenix. Poor delivery there by Penny. Tongue finds Angus. Into field. Little bobble. Good hands in the crowd there, sir. And Rice will take the throw in. Atkinson. I'd like to see Atkinson play forward a little bit more. Gets himself in those little pockets a lot, but seems to come back out into from those dangerous pockets and just play back into the centre backs or full backs. Gatkek switches play. Stanfield will look to get there on touch, and you see that communication to help him. He's asking Matteson for that and didn't really provide the cover he needed there. Matteson well turned over again by Angus. Finds Taguchi. Such a clever player you are, Taguchi. Gets his body in the way. Matteson, he'll look to switch here for Tongue, I think. No, finds Coughlin. Faber is all over Coughlin every time he gets on the ball, making life really hard for the Irishman. Atkinson, Huff, Taya. Mitchell switches to boys. Deals with that pass well. Schwartz, Tongue. And that's a Kashmir technical throw-in. Ball into Angus. It's a lovely ball from Field into Matteson. We look to square up the wide player. Atkinson finds himself at the byline on his right foot. Did look for that cut back. And the ball's out for another Kashmir technical corner.
Kashmir Technical have had a bit of joy here. They had quite a bit of the ball. Western Suburbs will look to get kicked back on the ball as much as he was on the early stages of the game, where they had a little bit more ascendancy.
Ball's delivered. That's that delivery that I thought was coming earlier on. It finds Tom Schwartz. Back across. He finds Taguchi. Hits the bar. Mitchell out to Matteson. Delivers again with his right foot. Well won by Clayton again. Clayton's defending so far has been outstanding, it must be said. As centre-back Stroud looks to go and put pressure on that ball.
The shortest man on the pitch there, Yuya Taguchi, getting up in the middle of the 6-yard box and managing to hit the crossbar.
Ball is out for a goal kick. Looked to be a corner kick to me. No, it's gone for a corner kick. The referees, good to see them use the comms that they've got to make a decision that I believe is the right one. But that delivery from Matteson was more what I was expecting. That big hung delivery towards the back post. Tom Schwartz doesn't get off the ground too much, but does make sure of his man and pins his man. And now it's second phase. I imagine the same will come here from Taguchi from the far side. Whip delivery, won that time by Van Rysel. They do seem to be crowding Sims as well.
Matheson over there causing a bit of havoc in front of Sims. Let's see what comes of it.
Yeah, looks like Faber's almost wrestling him. Ball's delivered flat this time, won by Coughlin. Where's that ball? And a foul. Not sure what that's for. Didn't see that.
Either way, Sims was there. He managed to smother the ball. No opportunity to score in the end anyway.
No, they do scramble well, Western Suburbs. I've been impressed with that. It's part of the game that isn't necessarily the pretty side of the game, but they do scramble in around their 18-yard box well and apply pressure. They've got a good defensive record too. Taya finds Van Bristol. Look to play beyond. Huff put in field under pressure. Back into Knight. Deals with that well, Danny Knight. And that ball looks out to me. It is.
Smart from Van Russell there, seeing Sandfield was slightly out of position, a little bit further up the pitch and hit that pocket of space in behind him.
Absolutely. Well, the one by Mitchell again. He looked to find Coughlin. No. Finds Tongue. Looks for Angus. And that's a foul on Luke Tongue. Late, I think. A late challenge. By Ollie Van Rissel. On Luke Tongue.
As the half's gotten deeper coming into half time, you've noticed Penny has kept dropping further and further back. And I wonder if that's purely because they can't get the ball out.
Tonga look to deliver this. We'll get back onto that in a second, Ronan. Second half of the first half, they've definitely been on top a little bit, Kashmir Technical, and that's well claimed by Sims. Well claimed by Sims. Young goalkeeper. That's not a bad strike either. Yeah, Penny definitely playing as a false nine. Looking to come off the front. Like I said before, they won't want to battle Storer and Schwartz. Obviously, missing Ihaya Delaney, who's cup-tied for Kashmir Technical, played for North Wellington earlier in the season, who would be a little bit of a focal point for them. Well known to Schwartz and Storer, having played with him, with Ihaya for Canterbury United. Old-fashioned number 9, lovely first touch, brings people into play. Schwartz finds Tongue. First touch, not what he would have wanted, or the second. Tech turn it over again, well done Coughlin. Back into Knight. One in midfield by Huff. Although not easily. You look at the size difference between the two, Taguchi and Huff, and you definitely think it'd be an easy battle. Any standouts for you in the first half so far, Ronan?
Well, I have to think about that one actually. It's been quite a tactical affair. Not really. No.
Coughlin strikes the ball. Oozes confidence, the Irishman, and he's not afraid to have a strike from anywhere. Sorry to interrupt you there, Ronan, as we enter the 46th minute. I think in terms of standouts for me, and that is half time. For standouts for me, I think Fraser Angus has been excellent for Kashmir Technical, and I think Wangat Kek again for Western Suburbs. Anyway, we're about to head into the half-time break. I hope you've enjoyed the first half. Certainly an engaging tactical battle. Currently, Kashmir Technical 0, Western Suburbs 0. Join us for the second half very soon. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that break
Second half, let's
as
get high
both
boys.
teams
Come on, you Tigers.
make their way out for the second half. Both coaches have had their time to affect the game. Let's see what the second half brings. Western Suburbs to kick off, attacking left to right as you look at it. Kashmir Technical right to left.
What do you want me to do?
Do you think we'll see a change in the second half, Lee, or will it be much of the same for the first 15?
Yeah, I think Kashmir Tech, the first half an hour was probably Western Suburbs is. Second, sort of last 15, I think was Kashmir Technicals. But I think, I think they will have much of the same. Stroud looks to find the pocket. Finds Gatkek. Penny. Huff. Faber. He's been excellent at the back for Western Suburbs. Michael Faber. Referee Calvin Berg telling Tongue that's enough. Switch of play from Stroud. Dealt with by Field.
Done anything? Come on.
Ball back in by Huff. Van Rice are putting that press on nice and quick. So back to your question, Ronan. Yeah, I think you'll see much of the same from Western Suburbs. You may see a couple of positional changes. So you may see them look to alternate who gets in the pocket a little bit, because it was potentially a little bit predictable towards the end, and that's where they're very good, is when they try and find those pockets of space in between the midfield and the back four. And that's a foul in the middle of midfield. I think that's fair. From Kashmir Technical, it may be much of the same. I think potentially there's a battle of the benches to be had here about who can affect the game, as Van Rassel finds himself on the left-hand side, ball clipped in, which found Atkinson, but a tame header in the end. As Knight looks to clear to find Coughlin. Faber deals with that expertly well. Coughlin turns it into a press and does extremely well himself. Taguchi. Ball goes wide, left-hand side. Faber really has been excellent at the back for Western Suburbs. A little bit of experience, played a lot of football at senior level. And just that coach's mind allows him to read the game a little bit.
Very impressive Faber. Level head on him. Nothing phases him, and he just gets on with it. He's done really well so far.
I agree. Taguchi looks to press. I look for the fullback here. You won't stress. You won't panic, Sims. Boys wins that header. Under pressure from Clayton. Boys an experienced campaigner. Potentially won't forget that little bit of a shove and late challenge by Clayton. Again, you see here the players in the pockets and Gillian coming off that front. Making that back three. Western Suburbs. Tech turned the ball over again. High up the pitch, Coughlin finds himself on the ball. That's a lovely delivery from Garvin Coughlin. Right, that's what we used to call the stinger cross. Right behind the back four, just no one attacking it. Tongue finds himself on the edge of the area. And Sam Field, left-footed, deflection and bar. Not renowned for his technical ability on his left-hand side from 25 yards, but with the aid of a heavy deflection, he almost put Kashmir Technical 1-0 up.
I think he'll be happy with the way he actually struck the ball, and the deflection just put the keeper on the wrong foot. And he's lucky to see that go off the crossbar now.
He's a great young man, Sam Field. Humble, hard-working, and ever-present for this Kashmir Technical team. Western Suburbs count themselves lucky just there. And the ball will look to be delivered from Taguchi. Down on my left-hand side. Again, that hung delivery as Tom Schwartz looks to pin Stroud. Well dealt with by Stroud.
Matheson again looking to make himself a nuisance in front of Sims there. Be interesting to see how long referee allows it to continue before he involves himself.
Absolutely, and the battle really that everyone's looking at in here is Schwartz versus Stroud, I think. Again, that hung delivery. Well won by Faber, I think. Gatkek turns the ball over, and here's the transition. Gatkek, look at the numbers around the ball from Kashmir Technical. Good decision by Gatkek to come back out and around. That was a great reaction by Kashmir Technical to get behind the ball. Clayton finds Atkinson. Into Stroud. Taya may look to just dictate a little bit. He seems to be dropping a little bit deeper than what he was in the first half, almost making a back three. So here comes the wondering goalkeeper. It's great to see. Very different. Again, you saw Stroud advances with the ball. They'll just put a little bit of pressure on him. Whereas on the other side, they'll leave Michael Faber alone. And that's a foul on Penny by Angus. Game begins again. Atkinson in the pocket. Gillian finds Clayton. Taguchi, he's a smart player, plays back off one touch. Finds Schwartz, who under pressure looks to bend that ball round. Stroud on the ball. Tay again. Finds Van Rissel. See that back three again for Western Suburbs. Gatkek, lovely first touch, taking Angus out of the game. Looks to get on the inside. He's in on goal, and that's a great challenge by Danny Knight, I think. Winning the ball. William Gillian, a lovely run on the blind side of Andrew Storer. Found himself in on goal, and Danny Knight again earns his money for this week. As we see on a replay.
Gatkek starting the second half as he did the first, big influence on the game, finding those pockets of space and throwing some key passes there. Danny Knight will be happy the way he recovered, initially coming and then start holding and then coming late. So, but an incision initially, but managed to get behind the ball and save.
Corner for Western Suburbs. No doubt the target is Stroud. Scored a lot of goals from set piece in his time in the American. He does get away from Tom Schwartz that run there. Delivery not necessarily where it needed to be, but well claimed by Knight. Tries to release Coughlin. Well dealt with at the back there by Western Suburbs. Penny does look a class act, Penny. Stroud looks to get out. Finds Gatkek again. Clayton comes inside. Comes inside again. Oh, it's a lovely run by Alex Clayton. Does enough to earn a corner. But that first touch to bring him inside of Danny Boys and then come inside again and using the run as a decoy. And then finding himself in the 18-yard box. Andrew Storr recovering well, as we see on the replay again. Again, I think the target will be Stroud. They'll take the time to set this up. Delivered. It's a lovely delivery, but well won by Samfield. Penny, usually a midfielder, so he'll be fine operating back there as almost a makeshift six. Clayton looks to take his first touch. He's growing into the game, Alex Clayton. Gatkek under the ball. Finds Penny. Finds Tay. Van Rysel. Western Suburbs starting the second half a little bit sharper than Kashmir Technical, it has to be said. The Stroud looks to advance into those areas. But a lot of experience, Kashmir Technical. They don't know how to lose. Ball looks to find. Penny does end up on the ball, but uncompromising, I think, is the word from Danny Boys. And Tech just don't manage to get away, and Western Suburbs will start again. This is what they do, Ronan. They constrict you. They wrap themselves around you. They build pressure, Western Suburbs, and they almost like get you into a false sense of security that you're staying in the game, and then bang, you're 1-0 down. So it's really important Kashmir Technical use all the experience they've got and just stay in the game, because they do have players who can affect the game from the bench. Jacob Richards, obviously, in particular, who I know very well, can affect the game from the substitutes bench. But really important that Kashmir Technical ride this wave of pressure.
I also think Western Suburbs are moving the ball around a lot quicker. The ball speed has picked up a little bit, and they're finding that space a lot more now because they're shifting it a lot quicker.
Knight looks to go direct. He'll look to find Coughlin. Well won in midfield by Oscar Huff. As mentioned before, it's really cool to see young men compete. You know, like we know that people are good footballers. We have a lot of technically gifted footballers in this country. Obviously, that's without having to be said. But they compete, and they don't mind doing the dirty stuff, as Huff finds himself in the 18-yard box. Out to Clayton. Hangs it up to the back post, looking for Penny, I think. And they'll regain possession again. Stroud finds Tate. Finds Gatkak. Detail on the pass is good there. Looks for Clayton outside of Boys. Clayton with the ball. Looks to deliver. Well dealt with by Storer. Starting to really be needed, Andrew Stories, his athleticism and his will to win everything, as Van Rysel finds himself on the ball, opts not to deliver. Out to Oscar Huff. Bruno into Tay. Into Stroud. Gatkak. Atkinson plays forward again, finding that pocket. Detail on the pass, not quite there. Pass was high. Weight of pass not potentially where it needed to be. But really good to see him looking to play forward. I mentioned in the first half that I think he's got the ability to play forward and break line, so really good to see. But again, you see that press from Western Suburbs. Bruno Penny. And that's a good clearance from Danny Knight.
Gatkak seems to be getting on the ball a lot more. Do you think he's changed anything from the first half to the second half, Lee?
Yeah, he looks to be operating a little bit deeper, but then also joining up in as the balls move forward. Whereas in the first half, I think he was potentially staying a little bit deeper and not connecting with the front five, if you like. So it's good to see him go and connect, and you can see him playing a little bit higher there as Penny presses. It's a lovely weighted pass from Tom Schwartz to break lines. Again, that man, Michael Faber, putting pressure on. Boys looks to play into that corner.
I was just about to say, Kashmir Tech will look to value position a little bit, because they've been under pressure for the start of this first half. Western Suburbs definitely turning the screw, so Kashmir Tech will just look to get their foot on the ball and try and shift it around for a little bit, just to relieve some of that pressure.
Stroud, good first touch from Keith Sims. You hear the crowd. Crowd are probably more nervous than the players for Western Suburbs. See that this way of playing is ingrained into them. They will play. This is where they'll potentially look to go a little bit more direct now they've sucked Kashmir Technical in. No, they get out the other side. Maybe a little half a second too late, the Kashmir Technical press. Keith Sims. And they do put enough pressure on there, Kashmir Technical, to force the mistake, so well done Kashmir Technical. Mitchell. Field on the ball. And you see this picture, I don't know if you can see it on your screens at home, just the number of Kashmir Technical players that are sat waiting for the counter attack. They have definitely set up to make sure that they don't go behind. And that's a great ball from Luke Tung looking for Coughlin. Well won by Keith Sims. Great goalkeeping there. Made that look very simple. The decision's probably the hardest bit to come, and then you've got to commit to that decision. And good detail on the pass again to get Alex Clayton out. Gatkek on the ball.
Sims has done well there, but I think he'd always back himself in that position against a striker like Garvin Coughlin. He's more likely to get the ball at his feet than win anything in the air, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Coughlin, he'll always compete in the air, but it's certainly not the strongest part of his game. You saw there, Bruno Penny came off the line to receive, and Strad thought he'd look to check to go in beyond. So 60 minutes in, the game's flying by. Kashmir Technical 0, Western Suburbs 0. Engaging game. Not quite the game that Kashmir Technical put up in the earlier rounds of the competition when they beat Nelson Suburbs 7-3. But certainly one way you look at it and go, it's a tactical battle. Both coaches trying to express themselves in the way they do. Youthful naivety in terms of, or not necessarily naivety, youthful almost wisdom from Western Suburbs, and the fact that they'll keep playing, they'll keep looking to break lines. There you go again.
Gatkek does tend to drift off to the right-hand side of midfield a lot.
Ball delivered by Clayton. Yeah, he'll drop into these little half spaces. What he's looking to do is try and bait out one of the Kashmir Technical midfielders, and if they come with him, that means there's space left in central areas that they can then take advantage of, with Bruno Penny coming off the front line, and they can create those little 4v2s centrally. So that's why you're seeing an ability to get players in between lines, and Gatkek can then drop out into here, which allows Clayton to get higher. Kashmir Technical maybe need to switch on to that a little bit and alter the way they're pressing, because they are committing a midfielder to it. Corner here from Van Rissel. Across, and well claimed by Danny Knight.
Safe hands there again from Danny Knight. He's catching them quite cleanly today. What would you say, given where we are in the game, 60 minutes, just over 60 minutes in, who would you say is the goal threats for either side?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there's not been a clear goal scoring opportunity. That Kashmir Technical have hit the bar twice, once through Yuya Taguchi from a set piece, once through Sam Field with I'm going to call it a screamer just because I like Sam, a deflected screamer. But Western Suburbs have had a lot of the ball and have created little half chances, and that's a lovely detail, lovely pass from Ben Stroud. So the goal threats, Garvin Coughlin given half a chance will take it, there's no doubt about that, as he looks to clip to get Matteson in there. Great delivery across from Matteson, finds himself in the 18-yard box. Finds Coughlin. And that will be a goal kick to Kashmir Technical. And then for Western Suburbs, one of the beauties of Western Suburbs is that there isn't any one person who's a goal threat. They'll look to connect passes, and they'll look to connect with each other up until the final third and get players into goal scoring position. So if I had to choose, I'd look at Gillian. Or even Alex Clayton, who's been a real attacking threat. But yeah, I think that the way they play is they share the ball and combine so much that you never know who's going to score. Stroud finds Clayton. It looks for Atkinson between lines, well dealt with by Schwartz. Gillian looks to find Clayton on the outside. Lovely dink delivery, well dealt with by Field. Finds Van Rissel. Opts not to deliver, but that's a corner kick for Western Suburbs.
That's 3 defensive clearances or defensive headers that Sam Field has won inside his own 6-yard box. It's proving quite crucial in this game. Both fullbacks, I have to say, right fullbacks particularly, have been quite influential in the game from a defensive and attacking standpoint.
Sam Field, of course, is a centre-back by trade, turned full-back. Speaking to a couple of the Kashmir Technical boys in the week, and he's just too good at the minute not to be included, and therefore you'll find a place for someone like that. And you know, having worked with him, his commitment to getting better and his ability to raise the level, you know, he brings everything to a side. As the ball's delivered, not a great delivery from that side by Alex Clayton. He's originally a Central boy, Sam Field, moved down for university and has happened to stay. And certainly a great asset to Canterbury football. Ball delivered again by Clayton. That's a better delivery. Well won by Storer. Edge of the area by Gatkak. Got better willpower than me, because I'm definitely looking to strike that and shanking that 30 yards wide left of the goal. Penny finds himself on the other side of Fraser Angus as wayward pass is played.
Some would say that would be perfectly staged for a Padmore pot shot.
Yeah, it doesn't count if you don't scream Gerrard, though. That's what I've heard. I don't think I've ever scored one, but as Western Suburbs look to combine again. Gillian finds himself in the pocket, looks to play Penny. Gets on the other side of Boys. Really smart play there by Danny Boys, getting himself out of the way. You hear the Western Suburbs players there screaming Rondo, Rondo, Rondo. As the ball goes, looks to find Atkinson, who won't get round Storer. What they mean by that essentially is that's their Rondo situation. That's why they practice Rondo so much. Tech look to play, looks for Coughlin, brings the ball down well. And Coughlin looks to get round the outside of Stroud, who's a big boy, but he's no slouch at Ben Stroud. Again, another young man that's an absolute pleasure to work with, wanting to get better all the time. Schwartz, Boys looking for the top line, finds Angus. Mitchell finds himself on the ball. Field. Tongue. Looks to me as if Western Suburbs are planning a change. Schwartz looks to get Mattison in behind. Does do. Clayton probably should have done better there, but does well in the secondary defender recovery as Coughlin looks to press, and that's a foul. That's certainly a foul by Coughlin on Clayton.
Clayton got away with one there. He was a bit slow to react and thought he'd easily shepherd that out. Lyle was right on him.
Absolutely, it's a great reaction by Mattison, and the substitution we see here is number 8, Daniel Atkinson, originally from Auckland, being with Western Suburbs since 2018, being replaced by number 16, Jack O'Connor, who's a 2003 born midfielder. See that back three again.
Would you say that's a like-for-like substitution there, Lee?
I would say so. I don't know a lot about Jack. In my time in Wellington, I never came across him. But it looks like he'll just rock into one of those 2-8 positions. I'd say 2-10s, but Western Suburbs and Ole Football Academy would not like me calling position 10s. They have no number 10s, or everybody's a number 10 at Ole Football Academy. Gatkak. Not a great first touch from him. Faber pressed by Corey Mitchell. Sims. Does bring a smile to my face seeing a goalkeeper play like that. And that definitely is a foul. That's probably 2 or 3 that Luke Tongue sort of left in on the opposition. I know he loves a shirt pull. My bib budget historically has all been spent on replacing Luke Tongue ripping bibs. But he's also not, you know, he's a tough boy. Very good footballer, Luke Tongue. Ball begins into Sims, into Stroud. So Stroud not the only Christchurch connection with Western Suburbs. Tyler Logan, assistant coach of Western Suburbs, is originally from Cashmere Technical. Coached there before moving on to Ferrymead Bays, and then his most recent move being to the Adelaide Football Academy in Western Suburbs. Bright young coach. Faber looks to get Bruno Penny in beyond. Tidied up by Storer. Must be said, the young man at the top, Bruno Penny, has worked tirelessly against that back four. Field looks to get Coughlin in beyond. It's a thankless task at the top of on your own there, especially when you're 17 years old. Coughlin, capable of delivering anything from anywhere. Garvin Coughlin. Fraser Angus turns the ball over. Again, you see this line of 5 from Cashmere Technical. They're certainly not overcommitting. It's an experienced team. Field into Storer. Schwartz, boys flattens off on the ball side. Schwartz looks to find Tongue. A little bit too much on that from Schwartz. Lovely ball weighted in between lines for Oscar Huff. Finds Penny. Finds Van Rissel. You'll see an overlapping run from Gillian on an underlap. Well won there in the end by Van Rissel. Oh, looked to a trip over the ball there, Ronan. Not sure that was a foul. Have to be careful. Although the English accent will give away where I'm from, people will claim a one-eyed Cantabrian look on the game. Although I believe that Western Suburbs have been excellent so far, defensively and offensively. Alex Clayton will look to deliver from this set piece. Doesn't like any contact in there, Calvin Berg, does he? That's a couple of times he's intervened during set pieces. I don't see anything that's overly aggressive. Ball delivered. Not a great delivery from Clayton, and Danny Knight claims comfortably. And we'll look for Coughlin. Well dealt with by Oscar Huff. Clever from Tongue to get it restarted. Finds Coughlin in the wide areas. Clever boy, Garvin Coughlin gets on the wrong side of Huff quickly. Delivered by Tongue. Dealt with by Tay. Corey Mitchell, lovely first touch. I talked before about Corey Mitchell things. That outside of the foot scoop over somebody's head is not a Corey Mitchell thing, but certainly a classy piece of skill from Corey Mitchell.
He's done really well there. Unfortunately lost his balance on the second attempt of the shot. But again, Tech creating opportunities from a turnover and then a direct play.
73 minutes in. 73 minutes in, still Cashmere Tech 0, Western Suburbs 0. The game of chess continues. Looks to me as if Jacob Richards is getting ready. Ronan. That ball's clipped well into Garvin Coughlin, who finds Corey Mitchell. I think Garvin Coughlin's setting a bit of a trend for that haircut at Cashmere Technical, with Corey Mitchell also rocking the man bun. Tom Schwartz did earlier in the season too. Decided against it. Storer looks to switch play. And well won by Clayton.
Coming into an interesting period here, 15 minutes ago, what are the coaches going to do?
Yeah, interesting. I think if I'm Western Suburbs, and that's a foul that Kashmir Technical will look to deliver. Again, you hear and see the experience from Tom Schwartz there. Just slow down. Like, this is an opportunity for us. We're staying in the game. We're in the game. It's a set piece. We're a threat. Let's get forward and let's do it properly.
Just coming back to the previous comment, how much risk do you take with 15 to go? Are you going to play it out for extra time?
I'm probably the wrong man to ask about that, as the ball's delivered by Boys. Well won by Stroud. Taguchi back in. Won by Stroud. Yeah, because if I was a gambling man, I'd have an issue, because I do like to commit to the risk as opposed to the safety, but I always think I can win a game. But I think Cash Tech will be happy with where they're at the minute. Not because they're any worse than Western Suburbs, far from that. More because they knew that Western Suburbs were going to keep possession of the ball, and they know the firepower they do have in Taguchi, Coughlin, Matteson, Richards, who'll come off the bench. So I think they'll be happy with where they're at currently.
You'd have to say, given the number or probably more quality of chances created so far, that one goal now will win it. You'd struggle to think more than one goal with 13 or 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think potentially, absolutely potentially. I don't like to make too much of a rash statement on those sorts of things. I've been around the game a long time now and have seen some crazy things happen. But yeah, you'd have to say that one goal potentially wins it. Stay Night looks to find field. A little bit overhit. Tom Schwartz that doesn't look great for Tom Schwartz. I very rarely in the 8-9 years I've seen of Tom Schwartz have I seen him go down with an injury. Although that could be cramp.
I was going to say, I didn't see what happened. I was off the ball because I was following the ball, and so I didn't see any contact. I don't think he struck anything too hard to pull anything. So it looks like it could be cramp for Tom Schwartz.
I know he's had history with his calves, and his calves cramping up. So hopefully he'll be okay. A little bit of a rub down. Hopefully that'll work well for him. This gives it an opportunity for Western Suburbs and Kashmir Technical coaching staff to get some tactical information across to their players, get some water on board. It is getting warmer. Both sets of players will have to get used to the summer conditions as they head into the national conference. And I wouldn't be me without mentioning Selwyn United making the national conference yesterday in the 94th minute of the game versus Nelson. Chris Brown, a good friend of mine, has done an unbelievable job at Selwyn United this season. So congratulations to them. Certainly the Minnows going into the national conference. They'll be playing sides such as Kashmir Technical, Western Suburbs, but also Auckland City, Auckland United, Birkenhead United, Wellington Olympic, Miramar Rangers. I'm very much looking forward to the national conference.
Reminiscent of some promotion day excitement there with the late goals from Selwyn, giving them a 2-1 win over Nelson to put them in the National League.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's been many times in this country that I've been very happy with a football result, but that was definitely one that's brought a smile to my face. Stroud looks to get the game going again. And as you see, both 8s for in Huff and Gatkek rolling out into those half spaces. It allows the wide players to roll into the pockets and the fullbacks to get nice and high. That ball under hit by Stroud. Taguchi finds, or doesn't find Angus, who's trying to. And again, Tech sat in that middle block.
I do think Gatkek is at his most dangerous when he shifts out and drifts into this right-hand side, into that pocket of space. But interestingly, you will notice Tigger getting a bit more compact, maybe looking to see it out to the 90 minutes. Yeah,
what's interesting, being on this side of the pitch as opposed to in the dugout is You never really know. You know, when you're inside the dugout, you feel like you control or whatever is happening on the pitch. From this side, we're sort of guessing on the whole. One thing I do see is Hayden McCabe telling Ben Sippler just to get back in his technical area. I feel you there, Ben. Don't like being sat down in my technical area either.
Has he stolen the sitting on the chili bin tactic from you, mate?
I would never like to claim that being my thing. As Coughlin finds himself on the side, the ball does go out. It's worked tirelessly at the top there, Garvin Coughlin. That doesn't sound great for Wangat Kak. He's hoping he's okay. He does have that left knee heavily strapped. Does not look great at all. I have seen, though, Ronan Nyker. Miramar Rangers had former Team Wellington coach Scott Hales in the crowd. I wonder if he's here scouting. Both teams will be in the national conference.
He's fortunate enough to be able to travel during this lockdown and not stuck in Auckland, so why not? It's an opportunity to get out, different part of the country, and see a good level of football.
Absolutely. It certainly doesn't look great for Wangat Kak, and not great for Western Suburbs either. He's certainly been at the heart of anything good for Western Suburbs. As you see Tom Short stretching out too. As the crowd give him a round of applause, Wangat Kak. Alex Clayton gets the ball going again. Ben Stroud into Faber. Finds Tate. Gatkek again looks okay to come back on as a foul for Western Suburbs. And he's back in the game, Wangat Kak. That left knee is certainly heavily strapped. Stroud looks to play in beyond. Well dealt with by Storer. Pressure on Schwartz as he clears well. Lovely touch by Wangat Kak in the middle of the park. Looks to dink the ball. Well dealt with by Samfield. Up again by Taguchi. You hear the instructions as Tongue presses the ball high up. You hear the instructions from Ben Sippler. Keep moving them. Keep moving them. It's not the first time that have come up against a medium block. And it's important that they are patient in possession as they look. You know, you see 5 players in the top line from Western Suburbs.
I think Tech are happy to keep doing what they're doing. They haven't been broken down through their block. Using the experience to make Western Suburbs create something and not giving them anything.
Agreed. Stroud again looks to go beyond. Clayton jumps well and wins that first contact. Matheson finds Coughlin, back to goal again. Turns it into that back pass into pressure, Western Suburbs.
Tech will be happy with the job they've done defensively against Western Suburbs here, limiting them to those direct balls over the fullbacks, which is arguably, you'd say, one of Tech's strengths.
Certainly. Taguchi wins the first contact, but Faber again, enough pressure on it just to turn it over. Stroud finds Sims. Ball not delivered particularly well from Sims, but Van Rissel keeps it alive. Faber Luke Tung tries to keep that ball alive. Doesn't manage to, but a nice show of intent from.
I'm surprised that Tech haven't pressed on Sims' right foot, forcing him to use his left a bit more, because they tend to play out and use him as a third player in that back line. So putting pressure on his right foot and forcing him to play on his left may reap some rewards.
I think so, yeah. I mean, he has done well, Sims, in possession, and has turned a couple of Tech players inside out. So he's certainly no fool in possession. Stroud looks to force that one to find the pocket. Gatkek, not a great pass, and Corey Mitchell will certainly jump on that to turn that into a press. Stroud looks to dribble round. Taguchi wins the ball. Is he offside there, Coughlin? No, but that is out for a goal kick.
I think Gatkek's struggling a little bit. Those last 3 touches haven't been to the quality or standard we expect from him. Be interesting to see how he goes if this goes into extra time.
Agreed. He's not looking particularly comfortable.
An experienced team like Tech will see that and they'll notice and they'll pounce on it. So if he's not right, he'll be found out.
So we come into the 86th minute here at Garrett Memorial Park, and that's a little bit wayward from Stroud again. It's a good self-talker, Ben Stroud. He'll get himself back in the mindset to get back on with the game. But 86th minute, we're still Kashmere Technical 0, Western Suburbs 0. No changes whatsoever from the Kashmere Technical bench, which is interesting in itself.
Well, I have to say I'm not surprised. I think they'll be happy with the work they've done, so they'll probably just want to keep it this way and then make the changes if they need to if they go into extra time.
Ball turned over again by Tech midfield. Corey Mitchell is at his pocket, nicked by Gillian. Tung, that looks sore from Tung. Coughlin back to goal again, not particularly the way he wants to be facing. That's a lovely ball through to Taguchi. Taguchi tucks inside, and that's 1-0 Tech, goal to Tech. That's Kashmere Technical 1, Western Suburbs 0 here at Garrick Park. Goal scorer Yuya Taguchi turned the ball over in the middle of the field, and the first time pass forward, Taguchi comes inside and buries past Sims. Now we're about to see what the young men of Western Suburbs are made of. 87 minutes gone. Finding themselves 1-0 down here at Garrick Park.
We talked a lot about kicking the midfield, and to be fair, Taguchi hasn't been as prolific as he has and influential in previous games, but it shows his quality. So it was good play from Garvin, and Taguchi did really well to get the ball under control, cut inside of Stradi and buried it.
Yeah, certainly excellent play there from Yuya Taguchi, an intelligent player. And now we'll see what Western Suburbs are made of. They've had a lot of the ball, a lot of possession. Ball won by Storer, then by Field. Cleared by Field. Anyway, will do, I'm sure, now for Kashmere Technical as it turned over by Coughlin. Taguchi finds Matheson. One touch and it may be a finish here by, and that's a good defending by Alex Clayton, and that is out for a corner. Out for a corner to Kashmere Technical, and they will be in no hurry to take this corner, Ronan.
Clayton's pulled up a little bit gingerly on that left ankle, blocking that shot, but he looks to have walked it off. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, the experience comes into play now. It's going to be really tough for Western Suburbs. They haven't managed to break Tech down through their block yet, and now they've got a set piece as well. So it'll be a few interesting minutes to see how we go.
Danny Boy's in a lot of space here, offering for Taguchi. Opts not to deliver the ball into the Boys. Sims goes down, and that's a yellow card to Lyle Matheson. Stroud. Stroud on the ball again. Finds Clayton. Gatkek. Again, this Kashmir technical shape. Faber looks to get him beyond to Gillian. Doesn't quite get there. Ball's not out, although Kashmir Technical believed it was. And that's 6 minutes of added on time, Ronan. 6 minutes. The officials team clearly haven't had enough of this game just yet. So 6 minutes is a huge amount of time for Western Suburbs. As Fraser Angus turns the ball over in midfield.
It's interesting. I'd like to know where the 6 minutes come from. We have 2 injuries. Tom Swartz, Gatkek. We've had a goal and 1 substitution.
Yeah, 6 minutes seems a lot, but hey, Kashmir Technical will be looking to soak this up where they can. That switch of play doesn't quite find Van Rissel.
What it does do, though, is it gives Western Suburbs a good amount of time to put some pressure on. I'm sure they'll try and keep the ball, and I'm sure Tech will hold on to their block. So let's see what they can do with 6 minutes of injury time.
Indeed, as Kashmir Technical throw the ball back to Western Suburbs. 5 minutes to go here at Garrett Park in sunny Christchurch. Tay finds himself on the ball. Stroud looks to get a little bit higher. Gatkek, see the numbers commit. Oh, it's a poor ball from Gatkek. No, it's not. Good defending again by Sam Field. Finds Corey Mitchell. Coughlin will look to stretch the game here. And that ball goes out for a throw into Western Suburbs. That ball is kicked on by the Kashmir Technical crowd. And Corey Mitchell has turned that ball over.
Controversial there.
It is controversial, but it was the Kashmir Technical crowd that kicked the ball on. So I'm not sure they can complain too much. Kashmir Technical crowd kicked the ball on. That ball stayed on. There's a little bit of confusion.
Bit of an experience from the fans there. Surely, isn't a home supporter, you'd hold on to that ball.
I think they were trying to just make sure that. And there's Coughlin going down. I told you before, he will go down to milk things at times, and they'll take their time here. Kashmir Technical. A little bit of gamesmanship. 2.5 minutes to go. Tom Schwartz just stretching out those calves again. Ball is live from Kashmir Technical. Finds Mattison into Taguchi. Mitchell. Coughlin. Mitchell. Ball is out for a Kashmir Technical corner with 2 minutes to go. Coughlin finds Mattison. Mitchell, Coughlin. And out for a technical throw in. Really smart here from Kashmir Technical. If there's anything more frustrating in the game when you're 1-0 down late on and somebody keeping it in the corner, I'd like to know what it is, because it's certainly frustrating. There's not a huge amount you can do about it. And that's out for another corner to Kashmir Technical. With 1 minute again to go. And out for another corner for Kashmir Technical. Apologies about my giggle. It's just very smart play, and it's infuriating when you're involved against it. But it is smart play. As Coughlin looks to find Mitchell. Mitchell protect the ball. Western Suburbs will look to get away. And a great challenge by Yuya Taguchi. What a great find he's been for Kashmere Technical and Canterbury football in general. Excellent football player. With 15 seconds to go. Ball clipped into the corners. Ball cleared by Kashmere Technical. And that is 6 minutes down. Oh, sorry, that's 5 minutes down. 1 minute to go here at Garrett Park. Kashmere Technical look to get themselves up the pitch. Stroud into Sims. Again, no rush from Western Suburbs, although they've only got 30 seconds left. Potentially could. That's a lovely pass in between lines. Finds Gillian. Looks to get in. Van Rysel around the outside. Hung delivery. Won by Boys. And Mitchell comes away with it. Stroud on the ball. That whistle's in Calvin Berg's mouth, so I think that'll be coming to the end very soon. That's a lovely challenge again by Fraser Angus in midfield. As Tech come away with it, finds Coughlin. Looks to clear that ball. We're now 20 seconds over.
I think he's looking at Chip Sims there.
Yeah, definitely. We're 20 seconds over the allotted time. So the ball's hung. Storer wins first contact, then Angus. Storer again. And that, as they say, is that. Kashmere Technical through to the New Zealand Football Chatham Cup final for the third time in their history. An enthralling game here at Garrett Park. Kashmere Technical will be delighted. Their quadruple is still on the cards. Western Suburbs will be gutted. Real opportunity for them. Thank you for everybody for being around to watch it. Thank you to my assistant, Ronan Nika. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much.
1-0 to Kashmere Tech.
And that concludes the final, ladies and gents. Thanks for coming down to Garrett Park. We appreciate the support. We're hoping to see you in a few weeks when Kashmere Technical will be in the Chatham Cup final.